start with an opening statement from coach, then questions for our student athlete. Our student athlete will be dismissed, then questions for coach.
Thanks so much, everybody, for being here. This was a great tournament, a great classic, the first of many that I know are going to be really great for this city. It was a hard-fought game. We played hard, and came out with a win. Our ladies stuck to the scout, and we got a victory. Temple basketball.
All right, questions for our student athlete.
Tiara, how big of an you guys obviously had a big season last year with a lot of important wins. As an individual game win, where does this one rank for you?
I would say it's up top because Villanova's always been a battle for us. The past 4 years I've been here since Coach Rich got here, and yeah, like we really wanted this win. We dug deep and stuck together and came out with a win, a team win.
What does it mean to win the first ever Women's Big Five Classic?
It means a lot. Like being in the heart of Philadelphia, like to bring it back there is really important for us. Like this is what we want, this is what we worked for, and yeah.
TR, what are you most proud of during your career at Temple? Obviously, you had the coaching change after your freshman year, but you decided to stick with it. What are you most proud about yourself, your growth, or your city day?
I would say my confidence. Like that was really a big thing for me from my freshman year into my sophomore year until now. Coach Rich has been instilling confidence in me, and the whole coaching staff as well has been like just continue to keep me confident and like keep myself confident throughout the year.
Your confidence was on display with those 3-pointers.
Mm-hmm.
You described, being in that situation, wanting to take those shots, and how it felt to knock those down.
I was in the gym after practice every day this week, and they was like, "T, why are you not shooting the 3? Like, you need to shoot it. Like, you can really shoot it." So I believed in myself. They believed in me, and they told me to let it go. So.
Tiara, congrats on the win. How with a breakout performance like this, beating a rival in the Big Five Classic. Now, next up, you have West Virginia, nationally ranked at home. So, with a performance like this, leaving it all out there, how do you guys rebound to take on a massive opponent?
No, we do the exact same thing. We play together, stay together, play tempo basketball, and try to just focus on our game plan for them.
Coach, what did you think of Tiara's win?
Phenomenal. and she's right about the confidence. She's a very good basketball player, and we want her to be able to do the things that we know she can do, and she did that today, and she's continuing to do that each and every game, whether it's scoring or assists or defense. She's always come to play.
Any more questions for our student athlete?
Yeah,
Tiara,
go
for it,
Go
Rob.
ahead, Josh. Okay. We're fighting over you. You picked up 2 fouls in the first quarter today. Sat for a little bit. Coach made the decision to bring you back. You guys were down, I think 5 or 6 at that point. You came in and was super aggressive right away. Take me through your mindset after you got that second foul. You sat a little bit and then came back in.
We knew the ref was gonna not be on our side during the game, so they just told me to it's okay, like they're calling calls like that, and just keep your head straight. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the pass, and just stay aggressive, and then just play calm.
Last question.
Tara, the 11-0 run in the third quarter, you guys have been right there but trailing most of the game. When that happens, sort of what does that do for the team's mentality then for the remainder?
It brings a lot of momentum, just to be able to go on runs like that. We want that because we haven't been doing it in the past few games. So being able to do that, it really brought us a lot of energy.
Thank you, team. Floor is yours, team.
Goodbye, team. Miss you already.
Oh, Coach Rich.
Don't go too far. Don't go too far.
Just ask you the same question that I asked Tiara. I know you guys had a lot of big wins last year. It was an individual game. Where's this one in the ranking for you here?
Every season is precious, and to win the first Big Five Classic is precious. And we wanted to represent Temple, and we played together. We talked about that before the game, and this feels special. I talked about that earlier, how when I first came to Philly, I didn't understand the magnitude of the Big Five because I was a foreigner. So, but just being here these 2 years, I realized that this is a big deal, and it's big for women's basketball, and especially this year when we have so much exposure. I mean, this setup was awesome, And it makes me feel good as a coach, to understand that we are finally getting some due.
Would you like to host next year? Because it seems like-
Absolutely. Bring it on home. We're championship hosts, right?
What do you think it would be like in the city in that building?
I think we'll just have the same fire. The same fire, because we're talking about 6 teams of women's basketball that are really, really good. Every one of these teams are really, really good. And so I think it would be nice, of course, to have it at Leah Course. And this city needs this.
Coach, you guys outscored Villanova 46-28 in the second half. What was kind of your focus heading out of the locker room at halftime and heading into the second half to obviously make that big adjustment?
Well, we were down 4 at half, and so we were doing okay, but I knew that we had to step up our defense to be able to turn it around, and I think our defense is what really turned it around. It also gave us the momentum, and it gave us the confidence to just keep pushing.
On the flip side, though, offensively, you turned it over, I think, 13 times in the first half, and only, I think, 1 in the third quarter, maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah,
total.
we had 13 turnovers at halftime, and I talked about that, and we ended up with 15, so we had 2 in the total in the second half.
Yeah, was there anything that you see from your team when they're committing those turnovers, and what did they clean up there in the second half?
Yeah, some of them were unforced turnovers, just not taking good care of the ball, and we talked about that at halftime. We've got to take care of the ball, not have unforced turnovers where we're throwing the ball away.
Coach, Tristan had one of her best games of the year so far. She had 15 points, was really playing well on the offensive end. How important is she to your offense? How does your offense kind of look when she's really on her game like she was today?
Yeah, she's really come out, and in the era of the transport portal and all that, we have 7 new players, and so she's worked the first half of the season trying to make sure everybody's where they need to be, and so she hasn't looked for a shot. We encouraged her that she's a scorer, that she can also do that. She's now comfortable with getting everybody where they need to be, and we're comfortable playing off each other, and so now she can score the ball.
Coach, going off that, what did you kind of see from Kayla today? Three baskets off the rip in that fourth quarter. It feels like she's really been finding her form in these last couple of games.
Yeah, she has. I mean, you see her jump shot. I mean, she really gets up there, and we love that. I mean, she can sky. The defense goes, and they go down, and she keeps going up. I call her Air KT, so she's got to live up to that. But she has got a nice jump shot. She can rise up over her defenders, and we love that. And she also has that pace of the game where she's pretty fast.
Coach, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
For the age of as you mentioned, with the age of the transfer portal, 7 new players, what does it mean for Tiara to stick around through all of that, through the previous coach and stay on with you, and now 26 points of MVP tonight?
Yeah.
And
She's a very important part of our team. She definitely is. And, we praised her, of course, for sticking around and helped her with her game and instilling the confidence. Like, she could play in the pros. And we encouraged her to continue to work. And she works really, really hard. And I think we'll see her at the next level.
Coach, with Tatiana Gary, she the whole season she's kind of struggled a bit from 3-point range, and then today there was a moment where she shot a 3 airball, kind of looked to the bench and gave a thumbs up, and then followed it up with another big 3. Can you talk about just her not losing that confidence and just sticking with it when she's not making those shots?
Yeah, she, and she's a great 3-point shooter, and she's had some downtime, and we keep telling her, shoot. And, the confidence, we wear these bands that say confidence controls performance, and so if they're confident, that controls their performance. Don't get down on yourself. And she's had a rough spot with her shots, but she never got down on herself, and we're seeing that she's back. T-Mac is back.
Diane, you've worked so hard to build the profile of Temple women's basketball on campus and build it in a city that doesn't have a WNBA team, as we've discussed to the end of days, but you know how much Temple resonates in the city, and what do you think this does? And as we discussed, West Virginia, a nationally ranked team, coming in a few days, what do you think this does to raise the spotlight?
Well, and that is our goal, obviously, to get back to Temple basketball, where it was before. And, you know, our goal is to represent, you know, our brand excellence in Temple. We want Temple basketball to roll off people's tongues. And I think we're doing that. Our ladies are doing that on the court and off the court. And so we've been working really, really hard for this program.
There's some people out there in the college basketball world who have pretty deep ties to the neighborhood. I think you know a few of them. Did any of them text you in the days before about this, and do you think any of them will in the next few?
Well, I do get a lot of texts, for sure. There's probably like 75 of them waiting for me. But we are proud of what we're doing, and we are, you know, we're going to continue to push. We're going to continue to push, and hopefully some of those people will give us some NIL.
Any more questions for Coach?
Coach, you look at, just going back to like the overall scope of this tournament, the men's side did it last year, it's the first year for the women's side. It seems like it was a pretty big success in its first year. Just how important do you think this tournament's going to be going forward in the future to continuing to grow the women's side of the Big Five and the women's side of basketball in general?
Yeah, you know, Denise and I talked about it before the game. Like, this is awesome. It is just, the feel of it is really great, and it's great that Philadelphia is shining a light on women's basketball. And, you know, we've probably played in the shadows for a long, long time, but this kind of exposure and this tournament can shine a light back onto women's basketball. And we can catch the wave. Right now, women's basketball is hot. If we don't catch it, we're going to be in trouble. And I think the Big Five Classic has put a tentacle in it and said, look, we got to ride with this wave.
Last question for Coach.
Coach, you guys were down 9-0 to start the game, then go on an 8-0 run. I know basketball is a game of runs, but what does it say about this team in particular that you weren't faced with the environment going down 9-0 in the first 3 minutes of the game?
Well, I got to tell you, my assistants kept saying, Coach, we need a timeout. And I'm trying to find the clock with the score, like, why? What's the score? What's the score? And then I look it up, it was 9-0, but, you know, I'm a stickler for stopping momentum. So I didn't want to stop the momentum. But, you know, we didn't get down on ourselves, and we kept playing.
All right.
Thanks so much.